Hey everyone, welcome to another Pioneer video here on Magic Arena. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already, appreciate the support. So today we are playing some Sultai Beans, so deck built around Up the Beanstalk, which you've probably seen before. Draws a card when it enters, and whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater. And we're running the new card Rakshasa's Bargain, which is one of the kind of hybrid spells from Tarkir. So it's 2 black, 2/black, 2/green, 2/blue. So you can pay each of those as either 2 generic mana or one of that particular color. So it can be cast for 3 mana, but has a mana value of 6. So it triggers up the Beanstalk, even if you're only casting it for 3 mana. So that little interaction is quite neat, and this is a great kind of pseudo memory deluge. Look at the top 4, 2 in your hand, 2 into your graveyard, and then in a deck like this, which is kind of built around Delve and those kind of abilities, then filling up your graveyard to be able to cast Treasure Cruise or Gurmag Angler or power out a Tolarian Terror for cheap is pretty good. So in terms of the rest of the deck, we've got some kind of it's kind of like spells which are 5 or more mana but aren't. So the Delve spells, obviously, we've got Murderous Cut, Storming Entity, which you can cast for 1 and a blue if you've already cast an instance and sorcery this turn. So there's lots of those kind of effects which trigger up the Beanstalk but don't really actually cost 5 or more mana. Then some early interaction with our Thought Seizers and Fatal Pushes. We got 3 copies of Stubborn Denial. This just becomes a very powerful counter spell. If you have a big creature out on the battlefield, consider a cheap instant that could potentially fill the graveyard, not only with itself, but also when you surveil 1. Then we got a couple of Ledger Shredders as well, just to kind of benefit from the double spelling that we'll be doing a lot this turn. Kind of Ledger Shredder into Stormwing Entity, it's kind of a Ledger Shredder into a Storming Entity turn is pretty good. Shieldred's Edict and Abrupt Decay, just some additional interaction, kind of keeping the early game under control. Then a couple of deadly cover-ups as well. Mass removal spell triggers up the Beanstalk. Potentially that's a scalp, one of the opponent's most powerful cards. So yeah, it's all pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, it's a kind of Beanstalk deck with a Delve sub-theme, being able to just power out powerful spells for cheap and getting additional value off them. In terms of the mana base, so we got 1 Triome, just because we do want to be able to reliably cast spells on turn 1. So the mana base is a little bit stressed, but we got a high number of shock lands, obviously, some fast lands, a couple of basic lands, Besagio and Otawara as our utility lands. So there's a few things you can do. Restless Reef as well. That's kind of as I say, it is a slightly taxing mana base, so we'll need to keep an eye out for that. In the sideboard, a couple of Cling to Dusts, Graveyard Hate, Aether Gust, Disdainful Stroke, Mystical Dispute. Got some additional counter spells. Back to Nature, just for those decks which are running lots of enchantments. So Overlords is less of a thing in the format now, but I don't think there's anything wrong with having that as an ability. Aureal Procession, just 2 mana recur any card from our graveyard to our hand, so bring back one of our powerful creatures if the opponent manages to kill it, like a Tolarian Terror or Storming Entity, or a Rakshasa's Bargain, and just keep the cycle of card advantage going. Cry of the Carnarium, just early mass removal spell that doesn't cause damage, which I think is quite helpful, and similarly with Culling Ritual, these are kind of for those aggressive decks which are trying to burn us out the game quickly. So yeah, that is the deck. Interesting one. I haven't seen many people try and do the kind of Beanstalk Rakshasa's Bargain thing in Pioneer. I mean, it's a thing that's happening in like Legacy, maybe even Vintage. So must be quite a powerful interaction. So yeah, we'll see how this deck does. Thank you very much for watching, and let's take it on to the ladder. So I did a little bit of fiddling around with the deck list before this first game. Did the deadly cover-ups just to add in a couple of lands. It seemed a little land light when I looked at it. This unfortunately is a ship. This one's pretty good. Let's see what's the opponent on. They are on a Yorion deck. Can we risk getting rid of a land? I think we probably can. What should we put back? Yeah, let's let's risk the land, I think, because we have Beanstalk. Yep, that worked out pretty well. Okay, so it looks like the opponent's on probably some sort of Niv To Light deck, which is fine. Okay, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Fire off a Rakshasa's Bargain. Draw a card. Okay, Murderous Cut's not bad. So I think we'll take Consider and probably Beseiju. Okay, so 3 cards in graveyard, so let's start with a Consider. Yep, keep another Murderous Cut. Then play Stormwing Entity. Then I'll probably just cut away there. Well, tell you what, we'll just pass the turn and see what happens initially. Because we might want to cut a Niv Mizzet Reborn or something. Unmoored Ego? Madness. Do you know what? I'm going to assume they don't know I'm running Murderous Cut. That's fine. I don't mind losing that. Sad to lose my Fatal Push from the top of my library, but never mind. Yep, they're looking at my library and thinking, what on earth is going on here? Innovation, that's what's going on here. It's fine. It's all fine. Okay, well now I am going to cut there. Oh, I can't. Damn, that was cheeky the way they did that. No, that's impressive. Yes. Darn. Okay, well, I'll play Ledger Shredder. I think let's take down the Fable before it flips. Discard Dark Slick Shores. Now, again, we'll give ourselves the option to cut. Yep, you can have another land. Treasure, rather. Because I live in terror of what they might do next. Fine. That is actually fine. So they can kill my... Oh, it's hexproof from mono-coloured, so actually it's not fine. It's not fine at all. Remarkable levels of unmoored ego. Okay, let's kill that. 2, 3, 4. Leaving 2 of the spells. Draw. What are they going to get rid of? I suppose on some level that makes sense. It's quite annoying, but it makes sense. Yeah, thanks for coming to play. Can't do anything, unfortunately. I can't kill either of their creatures with my removal spells, so I think it's Shredder number 2, Triome and pass the turn. Then at least we've got Stubborn Denial as an option. Fine, good work. If Mizzet Supreme being hexproof from monocoloured is super annoying. Turns all of my removal into nonsense. Ah, cycle Zagos Triome. Ah. Blag. That's fine. Cast Besage You as a land. Pass the turn. Yeah, them having double Unmoored Ego is just a little unfortunate here on. May as well block, as they'll probably kill the Shredder if I don't. They've got enough to do that. Okay, let's scoop this one up. So... Disdainful Stroke in, definitely Mystical Dispute as well. Do I want to destroy all enchantments? I don't think so. They're probably the enchantments aren't quite good enough by themselves. What do I dislike in this matchup? 4 cuts I need to make. Beanstalk's fine, Shredder's okay. Gurmag Angler is fine. I mean, none of our creatures are hugely brilliant in this matchup. Maybe I just need to go super controlling. Just trim all of this stuff. Not keepable, unfortunately. This one is fine, but not great, so I'll stick back. Swamp. Just do our best to try and draw out of this particular hole. Okay, well, that I suppose is at least a 3rd land. Okay, having Stubborn Denial, I feel a little bit better now. They try and ego me or something, or cast a Fable. No, nothing at all. Okay. In which case I shall give myself the option to both ego and cast Rakshasa's Bargain. Both ego, rather Stubborn Denial. Words have meaning. Yeah, I mean, if they're leyline binding my Beanstalk after I've already drawn a card off it, it's kind of fine. Sadly, Abrupt Decay does not hit leyline binding. Storming Entity, and I think probably I don't really need another Abrupt Decay, so I'll just take a land. Okay, well, we're going all in on being able to counter stuff. Actually, I think just playing the Triome is absolutely fine here. Just give us perma-fix for our mana. Yep. Well, I can wait as long as you can. I can't, actually. I need to draw something at some point. Would be good, wouldn't it? Fine. This having hexproof is so annoying. I want to be able to kill it! Well, we're just playing Endless Land. No targets for our removal spells. This has hexproof. This is more mana than is reasonable. So I'll Disdainful Stroke the Omnath. Oh, these fatal pushes are terrible. It's fine. We will eventually be able to do something with them, hopefully. If they could play like a Fable. Precisely. That's very kind of them. So now I have the luxury of being able to cast this for cheap. Do some scrying. Do I Stubborn Denial that? I think I can. Because that will become a 4-power creature. Stubborn Denial will then... am I willing to have this fight? I think I am. Well, maybe I'm not, actually. No, I'd rather keep Mystical Dispute for something I can Niv Mizzet. Okay, yep. Beanstalk is a yes, please. Another land. Yeah, alright. Not that fussed. Murderous Cut. Not now being 5 mana is slightly annoying, but it's not the end of the world. That I will dispute, I think. Let's destroy their Fable. I'll start doing bean things. Yeah, Stubborn Denial at this point is pretty weak, but it's not heinous. Yeah, I like the opponent passing through their turn, and I like Rakshasa's bargain a heck of a lot more. Yeah, Beanstalk Stroke I think is absolutely fine. Like, eventually I'm going to need to draw some more of my threats, but there's still time for that. Yeah, I'm not going to fight over a Beanstalk. Definitely keep Thoughtseize. Show me your hand, sir. Dovin's Veto or Leyline Binding? I think I'll take the Leyline Binding. Once you know Dovin's Veto's there, it's much less threatening. Okay, there's a Shredder. Now we wait for value. Okay, somewhat annoying that they drew that, but sure. Well, we now know they don't have anything else. Yeah, that can go. Follow it up with a Rakshasa's Bargain. Again, kind of fine. I draw a card, you know. Thoughtseize, no. Now, I'm running a little low on cards here. I am going to actually need one of my threats at some point. I did trim the deck of them quite a lot, though, let's be honest. Yeah, you can have my beans. Rather save the Disdainful Stroke for something a bit more impactful. Well, this is fun, isn't it? I'm sure you're all having fun. I'm certainly having fun. Are you all having fun? Good. I suppose that is a finisher eventually. So let's fire up the reef. Pass the turn. We can hold back on Rakshasa's Bargain for a turn. Yep, you can have that. Mainly because I can't do anything about it. Yeah, you can have that too. Maybe back to nature is a good thing here. That would be... Okay. Well, I shall doubly not have anything in my graveyard. It makes you feel better. Mystical Dispute and Thoughtseize are fine. So I'm down to, what, 13 cards? Good lord. Okay, well, let's have another look in their hand. Fine. So we go to 7, Restless Reef. Go again. Ancient Cornucopia, fine. It's not a card that actually does anything by itself. God, the truest form of control here. Winning with your lands. It's magic as no one wanted it. Triome, sure thing. Well, they're going to gain lots of life off this. How much land have they got? This is probably worth mystical disputing then, because they've only got 2 lands untapped. No, they've got the cornucopia. Nope. I spied what they were up to. I saw them. I saw them try and do it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Oh, finally, a storming entity. Right. Well, let's fire up the reef. Keep milling their library. Then how much mana have I got? I've got enough to Stormwing and also hold up 2 counter spells, so that seems fine. Oh. Oh, it's all coming out now, isn't it? Yeah, I'll just keep Storming Entity 2 on top. Okay, I feel a bit better now. Hopefully if we blank them for a turn or 2, I think we should be fine. Nah, it's not what I had in mind, to be honest. So I am going to stubborn denial this. It's a race to see who runs out of cards first. Three land. Yep. So that can be mystical disputed. Oh, God. No, I miscounted the number of lands they have there. That's annoying, but can't be helped. It's quite hard to see. Okay, well, that's not you. Let's fire up Reef again. Keep milling their library. Play another Storming Entity. Get rid of land. Keep Shredder. Okay, well that's a creature I can kill at least. What is this? Hexproof from instance? No, I can't. Ah! Is this lifelink? Okay. The endlessly untargetable spells that they... creatures that they have. And I've got an option to block with Shredder if I absolutely have to. How many cards have they got left? 12. Okay, I've got 8. Another Beanstalk. Yes, good, keep going. Okay, well, Omnath is a creature I can target with Murderous Cut. So they gain 4. They'll gain 4 more from attacking with a lender. So I go to 3. So kill Murderous Cut. So cut the Omnath. So hang on, let's. So at the moment I'm presenting 12. So what I need to do, fire up Reef. Oh no, it's not going to work. Oh, it worked. So now I'm presenting 14. So 14. So if I now Murderous Cut, killing that. Trigger, Shredder triggers, discard Fatal Push. This is exactly lethal. Marvellous. Okay, so I definitely made a mistake. I need back to nature in, I think. And I need some of my bigger threats in, so I think the Tolarian Terrors can go back in. Abrupt Decay felt pretty weak there, and so did Fatal Push. So I think let's trim all of those. Aether Gust is kind of just fine. Yeah, I think this is a reasonable iteration of where we are. Right, back we go again. Game 3. What a stressful experience for everyone. I think I played that reasonably well. As I say, my sideboarding was probably a little off. I think if we'd had Tolarian Terrors anywhere, we'd have very quickly won that game. But this is potentially a really good hand. If we draw like a third land, Stubborn Denial for maybe an early Beanstalk or something. Just deny them the extra card advantage if they do try and Beanstalk. Okay, got a difficult choice now, which is whether I Beanstalk myself or just chill. I think I'm happy to chill for a turn and hopefully draw another land. Yeah, Caryatid is okay. Yep, there's the land, so Beanstalk. Draw a card. And another one. Huh. Okay. So I think let's just do the same thing again. We'll ramp up the card advantage to 1,000,000. Discard probably one Rakshasa's bargain. Yeah, Omnath I don't have an immediate good answer for, but no, I don't want a third Beanstalk, frankly. I want land. Let's fire off a Consider. Nope. Ooh, this lack of blue land is a massive problem. Oh well, hopefully they might try and remove one of my Beanstalks or something, and I can push their Omnath. beans of their own, sure thing. Yeah, we're getting a little screwed over by our lands here. It's not good. Interesting. I think I'm going to take the Lightning Helix. Do some Storm Winging, hopefully draw some actual land. No, still no land. Okay, brilliant. Marvellous. And still none. Okay, great. Brilliant, marvellous, thank you very much. So I think we're going to have to be proactive and just try and kill this straight away and draw some more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. We get the cards at least. Okay, that is a land. Land is good. Has a revolt been enabled? I don't think it has. I don't think I've lost anything from the battlefield, have I? Nope. But I've got dispute available. I've got stubborn denial with Wajibajigger up, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, let's denial the first one of these. I think that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay, I've still got a massive problem of lands here. I don't really want to bargain. I suppose so. I can find one land with bargain. That gives me access to 2 counter spells and removal. Okay, let's try that. Well, eventually a Back to Nature is going to be pretty good. I don't think I need to Treasure Cruise right now. I don't really have enough going on to justify it. So let's discard 1 bargain and probably Shredder. Shredder's not very good in this situation. I mean, Cruise is going to draw you 5 cards. Okay, well that we can Mystical Dispute at least. So draw, Dispute. That grows my Stormwing entity. I am tempted to just push this. Get some more cards out my hand, be a bit more mana efficient. I don't like doing it with Omnath on the battlefield. Maybe it's not necessary yet. Because with Back to Nature I can potentially do all of that. So yeah. Yeah, let's just draw. Start with a Treasure Cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leave behind as many instants and sorceries as we can. So we draw 5 cards from this. Okay, what's next? I think Thoughtseize is next. Taking Niv Mizzet. Then I think we can back to nature. And we'll push their Omnath for the trouble. Then play Swamp. Attack for 7. Have Counterspell available. Yep. So, Disdainful Stroke there. Yorion. Got 24 cards in my library. Okay. Start with Rakshasa's Bargain. Let's pick up Murderous Cut and Thoughtseize. Yep, that's fine. Take another look in their hand. Leyline Binding can go under a Stubborn Denial. I think we're kind of just hoping for the best. Maybe let's chill and hope they blank for a turn. That is not blanking for a turn. Oh, God. Well, we tried, I suppose, didn't we? Yeah, maybe I should have just let them Leyline Binding the Storming Entity. I don't know, it felt pretty weak.
How badly will you miss that?
Well, we'll Murderous Cut their creature. Maybe we'll find something we can do. Yeah, we overdrew lands a little. We just... It's a shame, really, because I think we're a little unlucky there. Yeah. But yeah, they ripped the Bring to Light after I'd used my counter spells up, so... Which is disappointing. Wow, that was a long and intense match. Shame we didn't quite get the result there. It was close, but yeah, it just had the final sick rip off the top. Mox Jasper. Some point that'll be good, probably. Yeah, Sultai Beans. Yeah, this deck needs a lot of work, I think. You know, the interaction is good, but it often felt like we were durdling with not a huge amount of power on the board. But it's interesting. It's an interesting idea, and certainly one which I think worth exploring further. But yeah, here's the deck list one more time. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.